Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Philip, and today we're going to continue the game we started last time with the cars. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and duplicate this car so we can make the car that comes with its back towards us. The first thing for this car that we're going to change is it's going to come way rarer. So let's do here in the pick random from 3 to 7, and then we also needed to start somewhere around here and go down, so we needed to start at the X 15. So you can try that. There, it starts from there, but now I forgot, we have to change the costume because it's not going to be the same car, because that's just not realistic. So let's upload a costume that I have. Here it is. And I'm going to go ahead and delete my other costume. And now we're going to change the X by a positive number because this car that we duplicated this code from is the one from that's going on the left. So we need to basically go the other side. This card to go on the other side, so that's the right. So it doesn't need to be negative 0.25, it just needs to be 0.25. So let's run it. And you can see that it's going pretty fast. So we need to go a bit slower. So we can change this acceleration to, let's try 0.05. And let's run it. And you can see that it stops right there because we need to repeat this more times. So let's try 100. And you can see that's, we can't see where it ends. Let's move this. It ends around right there. So we can actually do a bit more. Let's try 115. Let's run it. And perfect. It stops right at the edge. So now it also has to change its size by a bit more because it's way smaller than this car when it gets right next to it. So we can change that over here. So let's try 0.2. That should be okay. Maybe that's too big. Yeah. So let's try staying right in the middle, 0.15. And that's about perfect. So let's test it. And you can see that this car is going on the right. The car on the right is going very slow. So it's actually, I think, going to be better if we make it go a bit faster. So let's try changing this acceleration by, let's try 0.2. And that's better, right? Yeah, but we also need it to repeat less times because it's, once it passes down here, you can see it remains on the, like, the bottom of the screen. So let's repeat this. Let's try 100 times. And it's still too much. Let's try 980 times maybe. That's a bit too much. Let's just try around 70. That is perfect. So now it's good for this car. Now let's check out this car that's coming towards us. So when you get to it, you can see that if you're over here and the car is coming towards you, you barely have time to react. So a good way to make it so you have, like, not more time to react, but this car, every time you touch the arrow, it's going to move more. So let's go to this car, our car, and here, when it changes the X, it will change it by 15. And over here, negative 15 instead of negative 10 and 10. So let's try it, and you can see now the car moves more. So when a car comes, you should have more time to react. See, so now let's go ahead and do the next step. For this last step, we're basically going to do an if, And if it's touching the car that's coming towards us or the car that's coming with its back to us, then it's just going to say crash and everything will stop. So you can go ahead, get an if, and inside of that if, it will be touching this or that, because there are two things that it could be touching to say this. So if touching front of car or front of car 2, then it's going to say I crashed, you crashed actually, for let's say 4 seconds and then stop. Oh. So let's test it, and here if you crash into that one it says you crashed, and then if you crash into this one it says you crashed. Now another thing you can do just for fun is to play with some numbers. Like for example this one right here, these two numbers right here, so it can come more rare or just less rare. So like 2 to 6, let's do that. And then we can change the same to this one, so it's more like it's more rare. So 3 to 6. And then you can also, I do have another costume for this car, so I'm going to go ahead and upload that. Here it is. And then over here, it already has the switch costume because this car had it and I duplicated the code, so that's perfect. So here you go. It's here. Let's test it. And the car on the right is sometimes the grayish brownish car and sometimes it's the blue car. Let's see if, yeah, there you go, the blue car. So now another fun thing you can do is make a variable. We can go ahead and name it score for all sprites, and at the beginning we got to set score to 0, and then if it passes any of these cars then it's going to change score by 1. So to do that you just put it here. So we also put one here right outside the repeat for both of the cars. So just go ahead and test it, and when you pass a car you see you get a point. Your score goes up by 1. And then when you crash, it says you crashed. And then at the end, the beginning of the game score is 1. Let's go ahead and hide the acceleration. And if you'd like to, go ahead, name your project. Let's name it driving. And then you can save it, and thanks for watching. I hope you liked part 2 of this game. I'll see you next time for another game.